It's stronger than yours. It's stronger than yours. My love is stronger than yours. Hate will ever be. And my faith is deeper than yours. It's deeper than yours. It's deeper than yours. My faith is deeper than yours. Doubt will ever be. We move through the world like shooting stars across the sky. Splitting through the darkness, putting the light into their eyes. Oh, 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 oh. My laughter is louder than yours. It's louder than yours. It's louder than yours. My laughter is louder than yours. Shouting will never.
Welcome to Shaggyishane's 2018 Kansas City Chiefs Farewell Edition. The 2018 season is over. Your Kansas City Chiefs reached the AFC Championship game for the first time in 25 years and lost a hard-fought, tough game to the New England Patriots 1 week ago today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kansas City Chiefs fans worldwide of all ages, it's not what we wanted to happen. It sucked. When you get a home game at Arrowhead Stadium, especially for the AFC Championship game, you want to win this game. You want to win it. But the Kansas City Chiefs fell a little bit short. Still, a magical 2018 season for your Kansas City Chiefs. First-time starter, Patrick Mahomes, passes 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 5,000 yards. Incredible. But we still feel that loss right here in the AFC Championship.
Through the world like shooting stars
But
across the sky.
we stand back up, get off the ground, make the necessary changes, move forward to make sure this team reaches their goals in 2019. What an amazing season for the Kansas City Chiefs offense. As I mentioned, Patrick Mahomes, 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 5,000 yards passing. The Chiefs offense, record-breaking, as predicted by yours truly, Shaggyshane. The Pro Bowl's getting ready to start, featuring Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Anthony Sherman, Eric Fisher on offense. D Ford on defense. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Kelce declined the invitation to go to the Pro Bowl. But that was his choice.
Hate will ever be.
Travis Kelce's choice. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Kansas City Chiefs fans worldwide of all ages, your Kansas City Chiefs are a powerhouse going forward. Now, let's look forward. Let's talk about what happened this week. Finally, after 6 seasons, Andy Reid fired Bob Sutton, moved forward to Steve Spagnuolo, former defensive coordinator for the Saints and the Giants and the head coach of the Rams. A lot of people are questioning where he was stats-wise. He was 23 this year. He was 16 this year. He was second in defense that year. Here's what we got to do, folks. The entire Kansas City Chiefs defense needs to be torn up, scrapped, trashed, thrown, put away. The 3-4's gone. We're going to have to say goodbye to a lot of players. To make this change. 10 years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs, before the 2009 season, implemented the 3-4 defense. They went from the 4-3 to the 3-4. They brought in Mike Vrabel in the second-round draft pick trade, along with they brought us Matt Castle to Kansas City. The Chiefs went to a 3-4. They moved Tom Bahali from a defensive end. He lost the weight. They moved him to outside linebacker. Mike Vrabel came along to be the other outside linebacker for 2 seasons. And the Chiefs implemented the 3-4. Now, we're going to implement the 4-3, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to make some changes. We don't know just yet, but don't be surprised if the Chiefs make some trades for a player that's more suited for a 4-3 defense. Let's look at the free agents that are probably going to be gone. Justin Houston, the Chiefs can get out of Justin Houston's contract by this spring. He'll probably be gone. Steve Nelson will probably be gone. D Ford, what are you going to do with that contract? Are you going to franchise tag him? They could tell D Ford, go ahead and see what offers you can get. But let's look at D Ford specifically. If they don't put the tag on D Ford and just let him test the waters, who's going to give D Ford a monster contract? D Ford had one good year this year, and his last game he lined up in the neutral zone in a big play. So I don't think there's going to be 31 other teams thinking, man, we got to get D Ford on this team, buddy. Let's get him, bring him to our team. We'll give him a monster contract. I think some team might offer him a good deal, but I don't think there's going to be a bidding war for D Ford. Just my opinion. Justin Houston, as I mentioned, he's at the tail end of his career. He's played 8 seasons. He'll be going into his 9th season next year. Time to say goodbye to that deal. The Chiefs can get out of the fat part of that contract. So it's time to say goodbye to him. The Kansas City Chiefs in 2017, instead of drafting running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, took a project in Tano Passanio, 6'7", 285 pounds, a freak of nature out of Villanova. The Kansas City Chiefs liked what they could see in him. He's a prototypical body of a 4-3 defensive end. Chris Jones. A question is, do you put him in the middle or do you put him on the end of a 4-3 opposite of Tano, or do you move him inside and get the 2018 second round draft pick Breeland Speaks? Is he a defensive end or is he inside on a 4-3? Your linebackers will be Anthony Hitchens in the middle. Anthony Hitchens played a lot better with Dallas in a 4-3 in the middle because he's got the 2 interior defensive linemen in front of him. He got ate up by offensive guards in the run game this year, and Pro Football Focus had Anthony Hitchens rated as the worst middle linebacker in football. And that's a sad, scary stat when you invested a lot of cash in Anthony Hitchens. So you got to go back to how Anthony Hitchens played previously with the Dallas Cowboys in the middle. He played in a 4-3. He was a great middle linebacker. He didn't miss a tackle in 2017. So they need to revamp that, put Anthony Hitchens in the middle, put Dorian O'Daniel on one side, and either D Ford or Justin Houston, or maybe a second-round draft pick on a linebacker on that side, on the other as the other third linebacker. Steve Nelson, as I mentioned, is a free agent. He's probably gone. Alan Bailey's probably gone. He's a free agent. Spencer Ware, running back, he's a free agent. There's a lot of free agents that the Chiefs have, so moving forward. But the Chiefs need to revamp their entire defense. It's no secret. Now, the big thing the Kansas City Chiefs got to do, ladies and gentlemen, going forward is, while everybody's going to be concerned about the defense going forward because the Chiefs' offense is set. The Chiefs' offense is set, and they're ready to take over. The Chiefs' offense is ready to take over, without a doubt. But what the Kansas City Chiefs have to do, the masses need to do, the media will do as well, is now that the Chiefs have made this change on defense, look at what Andy Reid, his career. I was pretty harsh on Andy Reid last week, rightfully so, and understandably. But Andy Reid is now he lost his 3rd straight conference championship game. Let's look back at Andy Reid's career, shall we? His conference championship career. His first conference championship game, the NFC Championship game in 2001. He went to St. Louis against the Rams and lost a hard-fought game. No fault with Andy Reid. Let's look at that game here real quick. In 2001 NFC Championship, the Rams beat the Philadelphia Eagles 29-24. 29-24. It was a hard-fought game in St. Louis. It went back and forth, so no fault on Andy Reid in that game. The next year, the NFC Championship game is in Philadelphia. The final game of the Vet. It's the freaking Buccaneers, who the Eagles dominated the previous 2 years in the wild card round in Philadelphia. It's the Buccaneers at Philly, but now it's for the NFC Championship game. Andy Reid's ready. The Eagles crowd's ready. The Eagles are huge favorites to defeat Tampa Bay and advance to the Super Bowl. Well, John Gruden came in and slowed the game way down. The Eagles took the opening kickoff. Brian Mitchell ran it all the way to the 20-yard line. The very next play, Deuce Staley ran it in for 20 yards. Eagles up 7-0. The vet, Eagles fans are going crazy. Blowout ensues. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to blow out. Just like the Eagles have dominated the Buccaneers the previous 2 years in the wild card round. They're going to dominate Tampa and go to the Super Bowl. They're already up 7-0, one offensive play into the game. Well, John Gruden slows the game way down and takes the team down the field for an opening drive, kicks a field goal. It's now 7-3. Eagles managed to go on the field and punt. Then the Buccaneers have a long time consuming drive and go up 10-7. Without getting to the complete stats of that game, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that John Gruden slowed the game way down and outcoached Andy Reid at home. He outcoached him at home. The Eagles couldn't regroup, and Tampa Bay dominated 27-10 in Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. Now, I know John Gruden people don't want to give John Gruden any credit for winning that 2002 Super Bowl because they say that John Gruden won that Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team. Well, guess what? John Gruden just took Tony Dungy's team and went to Philadelphia and beat freaking Andy Reid in Philadelphia where Tony Dungy couldn't get it done. John Gruden outcoached Andy Reid. All right, that season's over. 2003, the Eagles just opened up a new stadium. They're playing at home, NFC Championship game. They're playing against the Carolina Panthers. Their third straight NFC Championship game, second one in a row at home. And what did the Carolina Panthers do? They come into Philadelphia and beat Andy Reid 14-3 in the NFC Championship game. They had home field advantage, and the Eagles lost at home in the NFC Championship game 14-3. For the second year in a row, Andy Reid lost an NFC Championship game at home. Freaking unacceptable. Andy Reid took his team to 3 NFC Championship games, just lost his second one at home. 14-3. Andy Reid was outcoached by John Fox. Now it's like, okay, what the hell's going on with Andy Reid? Why is his team so outcoached in the NFC Championship game? The next year, the fourth straight year in a row, it's Andy Reid against the Atlanta Falcons. The game started off kind of slow in the first quarter. There was some concern, but the Eagles came back and finally won. Finally won a home game NFC Championship game. It took Andy Reid 4 times to go to the Super Bowl once. It took Andy Reid to go to the NFC Championship game 3 times in a row before finally going to the Super Bowl once. They go to the Super Bowl and lose to Tom Brady and Belichick, and Donovan McNabb throws up in the huddle and because he got a nervous stomach. That's another story. Well, here we go, folks. Let's look at this year. Chiefs get to the AFC Championship game. What happens? Andy Reid starts off flat. It's like a freaking nightmare. It's like, are you serious? It's 14-0 at halftime. It's 14-0 at halftime. Why is Andy Reid's teams start so slowly in conference championship games? 1-4 Andy Reid's record in the NFC Championship games. Next year, Kansas City Chiefs fans and media and the masses worldwide are all going to be looking at the 2019 season like this. They're going to be looking at their watch. They're going to be like, hey, there are people are going to ask the Chiefs fans, hey, Chiefs fans, why are you looking at your watch? I just want to hurry up and get to January 21st, 2020 to see, we want to hurry up and get there and see if Andy Reid's team can start fast and wake up. Because the 2019 season, you have to expect the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. You have to expect your Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. And as I mentioned, Andy Reid's going to be 61 years old in March. He has failed in too many conference championship games. He has failed 3 times in front of his own fans. He's failed. He's let his fans down. He was outcoached in 2002 at home by John Gruden. He was outcoached 2003 at home by John Fox in both those NFC Championship games. And he was outcoached by Belichick. His teams have started slow. It's all there. The stats don't lie, folks. I'm not a hater. I got to call it like I see it. Andy Reid's shortcomings in conference championship play is going to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. Everybody says, oh, Andy Reid, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. Folks, it's yet to be determined if he's a Hall of Fame coach. That's what we'll find out next year, 2019. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for another amazing season. Sticking with Shaggyshane, I'd like to thank all my guests this year: Lance Twidwell, Clay Windler, Pat Mahomes, Tara Francis, all helping out Shaggyshane Entertainment in some sort of way, shape, or form. I'd like to thank everybody who supported me, sincerely. Humbled and thank you. Very humbled and very appreciative. Thanks again. This last drink's for you. Check out Delta Shade. This is their song. Check them out on Facebook. Out of California, great band. My exit song, all season long, every week. Lot D, I want to thank you, Lot D, for making us feel welcome, making me feel welcome. Tim Vanderpool, Tim Orman, Dan Joy, the great people there. Shouts to Brit Chief. Check him out. He does a great job. All the way from England. He comes to Kansas City and gets it done. Props to you, Brit Chief. It's a magical season, guys. We got a stud franchise quarterback that I've been preaching about for almost 2 years now. 2019 season is ours. Expect nothing but the Super Bowl in 2019. Expect no shortcomings. Andy Reid, we're watching you. The masses are watching you. Get it done, all right? Love you guys. This is Shaggyshane saying, until our March breakdown show with Lance Twidwell, I will do a free agent breakdown show with in March with Lance Twidwell. And Lance Twidwell and I will expand on the free agent moves, just like we did last year. I love you guys. Thanks again. Until the March Shaggyshane free agency breakdown show, this is Shaggyshane saying, go Chiefs!